I've been mobilizing Hawaiian. I'm just going to show you where the information is, how to use it, and walk away, and you guys are the bonfire.
Some activists claim the U.S. Army is firing depleted uranium on gunnery ranges in Hawaii, contaminating the state with radioactive fallout.
One activist says she took high radiation readings, which may indicate depleted uranium. On April 22nd, she took Geiger counter readings in South Kona on the Big Island.
63. It's getting radioactive. This is very, very alarming.
Loren Murray claims the Army is using depleted uranium on the Pohakuloa firing range, and the wind is blowing radiation over South Kona. The Army insists it does not use depleted uranium in Hawaii.
All of the bombing and gunnery ranges are contaminated in Hawaii with depleted uranium already.
After that news story came out, the citizens were really angry a week later when all 3 depleted uranium bills failed in the Hawaiian legislature. And I said, what we're going to do is get Geiger counters, and we're going to set up citizen monitoring stations in your homes. As soon as the military realized we had monitoring stations surrounding their training grounds and we were doing surveys all over the islands, they haven't shot another DU bullet.
Dr. Doug Rocky is a U.S. Army health physicist and nuclear medical sciences officer. Dr. Rocky has expertise in nuclear, biological, and chemical warfare operations, microwave radiation, emergency response, decontamination, and battlefield cleanup.
We were the super garbage men. We had to clean up the messes. We had to identify the messes. We had to collect all the garbage. We had to provide the on-site medical care. It's a lot. All the Iraqi equipment, a lot of U.S. equipment, contains radiological components. When that equipment was blowing up, the radiological materials were released into the environment, exposing and contaminating. And then to top it all off, we used uranium munitions, known as depleted uranium. They've been used back in 1973 by the Israelis against the Egyptians, but during Gulf War I, Desert Shield and Desert Storm, we took it to a totally new level. The use of radioactive materials on the battlefield. Deliberately taken tons and tons, actually over 350 tons of solid radioactive materials, and dispersed it across Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq. Taken our radioactive waste and throw it in somebody else's backyard. In fact, in May of 2002, the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs reported that over 160,000 troops that participated in Gulf War I, the period August of 1990 through the fall of 1991, basically October and November 1991, have been classified as disabled from anywhere from 10 to 100%. Now, my own disability didn't come about until after May of 2002. The count right now is somewhere close to 200,000. In December of 1992, the director of the United States Army Environmental Policy Institute was ordered to figure out ways to reduce the toxicity of uranium munitions by Assistant Secretary of the Army Walker. In 1995, the director of AEPI told the Secretary of the Army, we can't reduce the toxicity. It's not possible. The United States Army Common Task Training states very specifically, uranium contamination will make food and water unusable. And yet we use it in combat all over the place. That's why the United Nations Subcommission on Human Rights had ruled that uranium munitions were an illegal weapon, because they're indiscriminate. They can't be cleaned up, and they last for eternity.